Welcome to the Venom workout. This is for quads, hamstrings and a bit of glutes. Now for this workout we're going to use a kettlebell, although you can use dumbbells or a pair of dumbbells as well if you have that at home. We're going to do 4 exercises. We're going to go through Goblet Squat, Sumo Deadlift, RDL and a Kettlebell Swing as a nice little interlude between them. We're going to go through sequential sets, supersets and then a triple set at the end. If you go onto your workout app you'll find it all listed there, and you'll also find instructional videos as how to do the workouts. Through the workout I'm going to change the emphasis on some of the exercises to show you how to target your glutes or to target your hamstrings better, and you can edit on your own workout if you want to do this. So hope you have warmed up already. Make sure you do warm up your knees and your legs before you start, and let's get going. So what we're going to do first is Goblet Squat, then go into Sumo Dead, then RDL and then a Kettlebell Swing. 15 reps, 3 sets of each one. And we're going to do sequential sets to start with. So grab your kettlebell, hold it in a Goblet Squat position, and we're going to do 15. Now make sure you pause at the bottom. Squeeze the glutes on the way up. Want to keep the back as straight as we possibly can on each rep. Now this isn't an aerobic style workout like say Lee or Ricardo. This is more focusing on squeezing and engaging the muscles to take the muscles to failure to grow. So we don't want to be smashing these out as fast as possible. I think that's about 15. We're doing 15, focusing on the squeeze, the engagement of the muscle to engage the muscle so that it grows. We're going to have adequate rest between sets, and then we're going to go on to the next one. So we want to get failure through volume, not failure through cardio exhaustion. So take about a minute or so rest, and then we're going to go again. Okay, so if you want to, you can pause your video until you're ready to go. Okay, another 15. Slight pause at the bottom. Remember to focus, if you want to target your glutes more, squeeze the glutes at the top. Make sure you're engaging that muscle. Notice my form is very slow and controlled because you might not have a weight at home that is sufficiently heavy enough to force a failure from reps, say from 10 or so reps. So you want to make sure you're focusing on the movement, slow it down slightly, that'll increase the tension on the muscle, force the muscle to work that little bit harder. So just another 15 reps, give it a minute or so rest. Generally, if I was in the gym, I'd be looking at a minute to 2 minutes gym rest, but for the purpose of the video, we'll probably have it a minute or so. Rest for a second. It's important you get your breath back between sets if you are trying to build muscle. It's all very well to go as fast as you possibly can, build up a sweat and get your heart rate up, but if we're looking to build muscle, we want adequate rest so our muscles recover so they can get as many lifts, as many reps as we possibly can. Remember, we're trying to build muscle with these workouts. It's not an aerobic workout. So want to engage the muscle properly on every single rep. Focus on every single rep. Okay, if you need to, pause your video until you're ready. And then we're going to go again for another 15. Hold the goblet position. Remember, pause at the bottom. Squeeze it. I'll try and get my elbows, if I can, onto my knees. Then I know I've come down as low as I possibly can. Remember, slow and controlled. Squeeze through the quads. Squeeze the glutes when you come up. Remember, bodybuilding is about engaging the muscle. It's about fatiguing the muscle, taking it to failure, and as a result, the muscle grows to accommodate that. If you are just smashing out as fast as possible, highly likely taking the emphasis off the target muscle and onto others. I think that's about 15. Got distracted talking. Give another rest. So we've done 3 sets of 15 goblet squat. Feel free if you want to do 20 reps, absolutely fine. 20 is probably the maximum I'd probably go with. a single set. Going to give it a minute's rest. And then what we're going to do is going to have kettlebell swings, 15 kettlebell swings in between that. So we do our 3 sets. We're going to have kettlebell swings. So we give ourselves about 30 seconds rest. Remember, we want to focus on the muscle. It's not aerobic, this workout. It's more about building the muscle. So kettlebell swings, and do it from the side. Lift up, come through, engage the hips. So you come back, push through the hips. So engaging the glutes. Use the swing. Remember, this is all about hitting the glutes. We don't want to be lifting with our back or shoulders. We're engaging the glutes properly, pushing through, squeezing with each rep. Just want to get about 15 or so. Don't remember how many that is. 12T, 1T, whatever. That feels like 15. Give it a little rest. About 30 seconds rest. Take a drink. Make sure you hydrate properly in your workouts. Interestingly, here's a little geek point, is that if you hydrate properly, increases saliva in your mouth, less chance of catching your RTIs, which is pretty relevant at the moment. Your RTI is an upper respiratory tract infection. So the more saliva you've got, the more defense you've got in your mouth. Especially when you're running outside in winter, you have less of that, so you're more likely to catch colds. So that's why part of the reason why we catch more colds in winter. Okay, a little bit of rest. We're going to go into Sumo Deads now. So if you need to, pause your video until you're ready. Don't go until you're ready to lift. Don't lift until you're fully recovered and you want to engage the muscle properly. So Sumo Deadlift, stand slightly apart, come down, grab the dumbbell. And for this one, we're going to target the legs, the quads, rather than the glutes. So we're going to go straight up, squeeze. For this, a lot of people do Sumo Deadlifts wrong. They pull with their back. And if we want to be engaging with our legs, we want to be thinking about pushing the floor away rather than lifting with the back. If you lift with the back, you do this. You come up, you don't engage the legs. Push the floor away and keep the back steady. More engagement for the legs, glutes, hamstrings, and this is what targets the muscle better. So for this one, we're just going to come straight up. For the next set, I'll show you how to target your glutes better with this exercise. And remember, you can do this with a dumbbell as well, if you want to. Okay, I think that's about 15. Don't really count. Okay, on the app it says 15, do 15, 20 reps. Remember, we're talking about muscle failure here, taxing the muscle. There's not a magical number, 15, 20, 17, not a magical number. Muscle growth comes from the last 2 or 3 reps before failure. So ideally you want to be going to failure on the 3rd set. Now if you've got bands at home, you can put bands around the weights, around the kettlebells to increase the tension if you want to. Take a little rest, 30 seconds or so. Get your breath back, make sure you are ready to lift. Remember, this is not an aerobic workout. We're not trying to smash our heart into a heart attack. We're trying to engage the muscles to grow, focus on that, rather than being sick on the floor. Although I have nearly been sick from some of my leg workouts. Okay, when you're ready, pause the video if you need to. If you're ready to go, let's go. Grab the number. Oh, so from this side, we're going to do from glutes. I shall do it for glutes. So from here, take it. Now, when a normal sumo deadlift would come up like this, to target the glutes, to keep the glutes on the emphasis, we lean slightly forward. So now you should see the glutes are the dominant muscle there in terms of where they activate. As soon as you pull back, you shift onto your back. If you lean forward, the glutes take most of the tension. So if you lean slightly forward and squeeze with the glutes coming up, if you want to emphasize it more, bring your feet in, squeeze the glutes coming up, lower, squeeze, so we lean slightly over. So when we're coming up, the glutes are really engaging properly. And if we do have weak glutes, this is an excellent way of teaching your body how to target your glutes, especially on squats, because a lot of people are quad dominant, especially women, and they find their glutes don't activate. This is an excellent way of teaching your glutes how to activate. Okay, it's about 15, I think. give it a little rest, a little bit of hydration. I've got the absolute best branched chain amino acids in here because I'm a 100% bro. Perfectly fine to put squash in there if you want to. BCAs don't really do that much, allegedly. Okay, take a 30 seconds or so. If you're not ready to go, pause. If you're ready to go, let's go. So we're going to just focus on normal this time. Come down, going to squeeze up. Come down, squeeze up. Don't go too fast with this exercise. People think they have to smash it out as fast as possible. And what I tend to do is take the focus off the back, off the legs onto the back. Start pulling with the shoulders. You want your upper body to be essentially dead weight on this, and you're just pushing with your legs, pausing, squeezing. If you want to target more on the quads, you can come in a little bit here. Okay, but stand straight up. So when you come down, you're focusing more on the quads there. Couple more. Wish I hadn't put my legs in now. That really does hurt the quads properly. Oh. Okay, so that's 3 sets of that. Give yourself a rest. Go 30 seconds, and we're going to go back into our kettlebell swings. Remember, the kettlebell swings is about engaging the glutes properly, not about lifting with the back. Make sure you hold on to the kettlebell properly. Don't throw it into your mantelpiece or your loved one sitting on the sofa watching you train. Okay, we'll go from the side again for the kettlebell swings. So from here, okay, lift up to get it started, come down, squeeze through the hips, push through the hips, keep the arms just like hooks. Somewhere there's a kettlebell teacher screaming at the TV saying that's not correct, but my glutes are on fire, so I know it's doing what I want it to do. Okay, 15 of those, 30 seconds rest, and then we're going to go into RDLs. And, 30 seconds. Okay, thanks Siri, thanks for coming into my watch when I didn't want you to. Okay, give it 30 seconds, and we're going to do RDLs. So RDLs normally you do with a dumbbell. It's much easier to do it with a dumbbell or barbell, but we can use it on a kettlebell as well. And I'm going to show you the conventional way, first set, do the glute way for the second set, and then if I'm still alive on the third set, I don't know, something else. Okay, right, let's go again. Okay, so RDLs, so we're going to stand up. So for RDLs, feet slightly apart, we're going to come from the side so you can see. All you want to do is pivot from the hips, keeping the shoulders back. We're going to come forward. Just before we touch the floor, pull up. Try and squeeze through the hamstrings, slight bend in the legs. And this is quite a light weight for me to do. So what I would do if I was doing this weight at home, I'd be squeezing my hamstrings properly to try and get up. I think another 5, I think. Okay. A little rest. Get our hydration in. Remember, hydration is very important. That's currently a bit of water and BCAs. 6 more weeks in lockdown. Probably be Stella and a vodka chaser. 30 seconds to our second set. So for that set, I just focused on targeting the hamstrings by a conventional RDL. The second set, we're going to target the glutes, and I'll show you for this. What you'll need to do for this part of the workout is focus on how my bottom is contracting. So sorry about that, you're going to have to focus on that. We're going to focus on contracting the glutes at the bottom of the movement to erect your body up. Dad joke. Okay, we go again. There we go. So same position, I'm going to come down here. Now at the bottom, we're going to squeeze through the glutes to pull up. So it's a lot slower movement. From here, squeeze the glutes to pull up. Same as you did with the sumo deadlift, keeping the shoulders slightly rounded forwards so that the glutes are the target of this movement. Now you might see I'm shaking a little bit. That's not because it's particularly heavy, it's because the glutes are really engaging and pulling me up. And you'll find that once you do the glutes, the hamstrings follow. If you wanted to emphasize hamstrings more, just angle your feet slightly outwards. Come down, squeeze the glutes, and you can push through, back through your quads, back into the hamstrings. Can't remember how many that is now. 12T. That'll do. About 15 or so. Don't know how many that was. So that's the second set. Third set, just going to go normal RDLs again. Okay, a little rest. So remember, the purpose of this workout is not to smash your heart. It's not to get you lying on the floor in exhaustion afterwards. It's to properly engage the muscle to make the muscle grow. It's a markedly different workout with bodybuilding than it is with cardiovascular work. Both have their merits. I'm not built for that sort of exercise. I'm built for building muscle. Okay, and my heart is elevated. You can't see, but I'm on my zone at 78% now, so that's pretty high for me. Okay, let's go again. Go RDLs again. Normal position this time. Come forward, squeeze up. And what I'm doing here is I'm turning my feet slightly outwards like this, but not actually moving my feet. And because I'm doing that, I'm focusing on my inside and my adductors on my legs. So what I'm doing when I'm coming up, I'm doing this with my feet, but I'm not actually moving my feet. So I'm providing pressure through the inside of my adductors to engage through my adductors more. Adductors on the inside of the leg. If you're a female, most likely do have problems with having fat in that area, and it can help with toning the legs. You might do things like the adductor machine at the gym. This is a way of targeting that by using proper weights. That's about 10 or something like that. Maybe I should have a little rep counter here. Let's go 13. 15, good. 30 seconds. And we'll go into kettlebell swings. So we do kettlebell swing after the completion of each section. A little rest for a minute. Do kettlebell swings in a second. Whew. Starting to work a little bit more. Okay. Right, good till 30 seconds. Once that's up, if you need more rest, take more rest. Otherwise, we'll go straight into kettlebell swings. So from here, again, lift up. 15 again. Squeeze the glutes, push the glutes through at the top. Okay. Now a little rest. So now we're going to go on to our supersets, which is a more intense version. So before we've just done sequential sets. So sequential sets, you do one set after another. Supersets, you do exercises together. So this is actually if we're going to be talking strict rules, it's actually going to be a triple set. A little bit of hydration, get yourself ready, make sure that you recover fully between sets. Remember, this is not an aerobic workout, although we are working the heart. What we're trying to do is engage the muscle, take the muscle to failure, and to do that adequately, you need to be able to talk in between sets. Don't want to be lying on the floor, exhausted. So take the time you need. It's about 30 seconds between sets, because we've got potentially reduced weight if we're training at home, and you've got 1 or 2 kettlebells or whatever. So we go a little bit more intense. Normally, if I was in the gym, I'd be doing heavier weight, and I would be doing probably 2 minutes or so rest between sets. But although technically I know I'm in the gym now, but this is a home workout. Okay, so we're going to do goblet squat first again, and then we're going to do goblet squat, sumo dead, RDL, all in one set. So 15 of each, will be quite intense. So I might not talk that much. So let's get on with it. Okay, goblet squat first into 15, let's go. Now, just because we're doing supersets doesn't mean we do it any faster or with any less attention to detail. We still want to pause at the bottom, drive the glutes at the top. Go back here. Let's do 15. I think that's 9. So pause, push up, pause, push up. That's 10, 11. And we're going to go straight into sumo deadlift. So from here, straight into it. So squeeze. You can do either version here. Do the glute one or the normal one. Remember to push through the floor. Don't pull with your back. 7, 8. Keep going. Form always important. For 15, and then we're going to go into RDLs. Remember, you can do any sort of RDL, doesn't matter which one you do. Focus on the muscle at hand. Keep your shoulders straight, shoulders back, I should say. We're going to count to 10, do kettlebell swings. The reason I say count to 10 is because you do sumo deads, goblet squat and RDL all together. Your lower back might be just getting a bit of a hammering, like mine is. So just give us our 10 seconds rest for a little bit of recovery. We're going to go into kettlebell swings, 15 of those. Remember, squeeze through the glutes. Okay, we're going to have a minute's rest now. Again, remember, it's not an aerobic workout, although I am sweating, and my mind zone tells me I'm at 92%, which is quite unusual for me. Pretty much that's heart attack territory for a bodybuilder. So I'm just going to give myself a minute's rest, allow ourselves to get our breath back, allow something called the creatine cycle to happen in the body. The body can replace creatine in the muscle to give us a little bit more of an explosive workout. If you keep going training without rest, you deplete the amount of energy you can put into the workout, deplete the amount of reps you can get. We're not growing the muscle maximally. So rest between sets is really important. We've just done 60 reps with weight. That's quite a high amount. So let your body
rest for a minute, about a minute or so, get your breath back, so that when we go into the next set, we can really focus on the muscle, and we're not focusing about stopping ourselves dying or puking on the floor. So let my heart rate come down a little bit. I was at 92%, that is, and coming down to about 85 now. Still want to keep ourselves with a reasonable level of heart rate so that we're burning more calories. But again, we don't want to be getting into the top flight aerobic zone, which you would say with Lee's or Raquel's types of workouts. Okay, give it a rest. Okay, so we're coming up to 80%. So let's go again. Go for goblet squat. We've got, again, this giant set. Let's go 15 reps. Let's go. Remember, focus on the muscle you're trying to work. I just said that. I forgot how many reps I'm doing. Let's say that's 7. Might be more than that. Okay. And then we're going to go straight into Sumo Deads. Get yourself ready, compose yourself. Superset isn't, you need to have about 1 second rest between each set. A couple of breaths, go again. So Sumo Deads. I'm just going to go conventional here, because I think my glutes have taken enough hammering this week. Lost count again. 7. Go 15. My lower back starting to get a little bit pumped. So I'm just going to give myself 5 seconds rest. It's never a good thing to take yourself to an injury level. If you feel yourself getting a bit tight, especially in the lower back, good idea to just rest for a few minutes. Okay, well, a few seconds I should say, a few minutes. Okay, let's go. Do RDLs. So we're going to go from here. Got my feet pointed outwards, so a little bit more focus on the adductors. 'Then rest. About 5 seconds. Give my lower back time to recuperate, and then we're going to kettlebell swings. Okay, when you're ready. Focus on pushing your hips forward, squeezing the glutes. 5 more. Whoo. Ho. And then we're going to have one more giant set at the end with all of them together. So give yourself a little rest. Remember what I said about giving yourself adequate rest. We're focusing on muscle building, but we also want to keep our heart rate up and make sure we're in the fat burning zone, which doesn't actually exist. Interesting, I've got a video on the best fat burning exercise on my YouTube. Go and subscribe there, make me feel wanted. Okay, another 20 seconds. So I want to make sure the last set is a good one. We don't want to go into it knowing that we might not get the reps. want to go into making sure we're going to tax the muscle properly. So, you know, although I might seem a little bit less hardcore than other people, I prefer a little bit more rest and get more quality reps rather than trying to satisfy my ego or show off to people in the gym by showing how hardcore I am by sweating all over the equipment. Okay, just about ready to go to the next set. If you are needing a bit more rest, by all means pause the video. If you're ready to go, let's go. Okay, so goblet squat first. Let's go for 15. That's it, keep it going. Last set this. Focus on the quality of the reps. Don't focus on just getting reps, because that's what people with no gains do. You want your muscles to grow, make sure you're focusing on training that muscle. If you need to, drop the weight to get the reps. Another 3, I think. Okay. Take a few seconds. We're going to go straight into Sumo Deads. Okay, feet to the side. Get your breath back. When you're ready to go, let's go. It's perfectly fine to take a rest and then continue the reps. So if you can only get 7 reps, you need a rest. Get 7, count to 10, get the last 8. You've got a few more reps. Let's say this another 2. Okay, believe it or not, I got an A at maths and GCSE. Then we're going into RDLs. I'm going to give myself 5 seconds rest or so, because my lower back is starting to get pumped again. And I'll make sure that I'm getting the quality of reps, not thinking about getting an injury. Okay. So now it's probably slightly longer than 5 seconds, probably more like 10. But it's not important, it's when you feel ready to go, that's when you go. Okay, let's go. RDLs, let's go again. Squeeze my glutes on this one. Evidently, my glutes haven't had enough of a hammering this week. 2 more. Okay, last set of kettlebell swings coming up. I'm going to give myself 5 seconds rest. Remember, it's about stressing the muscle, not about how hardcore you can be and injuring yourself in the process. So last set, I want to make sure it's a good one. Last set of kettlebell swings. Okay, let's go. Last 5, come on. Whew. Oh. And that is done. Slightly better than last time. Don't feel too sick. And I feel as though I've worked my hamstrings and glutes. Hope you enjoyed the workout, and I'll see you next time.